Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, over the next several days, we're continuing to transition to a much colder pattern, especially as you head off to the east. Portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba are going to be dealing with some very cold air as we head into the weekend and early next week. It's a drier pattern, though. It continues to be a drier pattern. The area that may see some significant snow accumulation is as you head off toward higher elevations further west into Alberta. We'll see the chance for some light snow overspreading the entire prairie as a front moves through here over the next 24 to 72 hours, but accumulation's generally going to be on the lighter side. Now check out the big bowling ball that we have off the Pacific coast, this big storm system. This is what is helping to bring some moisture in from the Pacific that will deposit some snow here, especially across western and southern portions of Alberta, but some of that spreading into the rest of the prairie here. Again, a couple of centimeters possible here as we head into the weekend. Taking a look at the high-resolution precipitation forecast just over the next 48 hours, this will kind of spell it out for us. Connection lost the mouse. We'll ignore that. It'll reconnect here. There it is. All right, going and stepping forward into the overnight tonight. So we're at midnight now, Friday night into Saturday morning. This is when we start to see some of that snow beginning to overspread portions of Alberta. Some snow maybe beginning in the Calgary area by Saturday night into Sunday morning. And as we also head from Saturday evening into Saturday night and Sunday morning, starting to see some of that very light snow overspreading the rest of the prairie here as we head into the middle part of the day on Sunday. So snow here across Alberta, Saturday morning into midday Saturday, beginning in the Edmonton and Calgary area, and then probably seeing the first snowflakes falling in portions of southern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba, talking about the Regina area over toward Winnipeg as we get into Saturday night, perhaps not seeing the first snowflakes until early Sunday morning. Now, how much snow are we expecting here? Very light amounts here. This is from the high-resolution model. I'll show you a couple of the ensemble forecasts as well, but the Canadian high-resolution model showing, again, towards higher elevations, you could get up to 15 to 20 centimeters of snow, but as we start getting into the prairie here, lower elevations, generally talking about a trace to 5 centimeters of snow in the Calgary area, perhaps talking about 3 to 5 centimeters, a trace to a couple of centimeters across southern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba. We'll show this here at the wider picture, looking at the GFS model. Again, watching some of this snow beginning in parts of southern Alberta as we get into the later part of the day on Saturday, overspreading portions of southern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba as we get into Saturday night and Sunday morning. An area of high pressure begins to sink down across the prairie. That's what delivers the bitterly cold air to especially Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but also kind of brings the snow to an end here as we head into the early part of the week. So light snow flurries possible Sunday and Monday, precipitation coming to an end on Tuesday and Wednesday across the prairie, and then just high pressure lingering across the region, keeping quiet conditions in place as we start to kind of try and dig out of the very cold pattern. I'll show you what some of the temperatures look like here in a moment, but looking at some of the ensemble forecasts here with total snow accumulation over the next week. So this factors in the snow beginning here late Saturday night across Alberta, and then transitioning into some light snow flurries downstream across southern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba that could linger all the way into Tuesday. And again, the higher snow totals all the way off to the west, higher elevations off to the west of the Edmonton area. That's where we could pick up 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. In the Edmonton and Calgary areas, probably talking about more like 4 or 5, maybe 10 centimeters on the high side, but probably going to end up right around 5, 6, maybe 7 centimeters of snow. As you head off to the east across southern Saskatchewan, a little bit more variability between the ensemble forecasts here, talking about as we go from north to south from Highway 16 to the U.S. border, perhaps a trace to a centimeter along Highway 1, or Highway 16, I apologize, and then getting down to around 5 centimeters as you get close to the U.S. border. It will trail off as you head toward the east. Again, southern Manitoba, probably talking about more like a trace to 2 centimeters of snow. So again, a transition from west to east here, talking about 15 to 20 in the higher elevations here, generally about 5 to 10 across southern Alberta. We'll talk about trace to 5 across southern Saskatchewan, and then a trace to 2 centimeters here across portions of southern Manitoba. Now again, the upper level pattern is going to feature this trough that digs in across central Canada and the U.S. Here we go. But again, seeing the worst of that over the central U.S. into Saskatchewan and Manitoba, while meanwhile we've got a ridge on the backside here that quickly moves in across Alberta. So the cold punch not nearly felt across Alberta. It is really a Saskatchewan and Manitoba problem, and we'll see that when we look at the temperature forecast here on the next slide. We'll go ahead and show the temperature anomaly forecast, because there is some good news found within that. You see the very cold air mass spilling into the region here by the time we get to Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, but it is quickly kicked off to the east here by this ridge that comes in, bringing warmer conditions back to the prairie. Now it's warm for December standards by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday, so don't put away the coats. We do continue with an active pattern that could deliver some colder air once again by the time we get to mid-December, around December 15th or so. So it does look like an active pattern with a temperature roller coaster here. Some pockets of very cold air moving in that seem to be short-lived, bringing back in more seasonally appropriate, slightly warmer conditions for a couple of days before perhaps delivering another round of colder air. What does this look like as we look at a couple cities here? Edmonton, starting kind of from the northwest, moving off to the east and to the south. High temperatures over the weekend here right around -6, -7 degrees. Cooling down, here is the cold snap in Edmonton. It's only dropping down to highs to around -9, -7 for Monday and Tuesday before warming back up as we head into the middle part of the week. Of course, what does warming back up? It means low temperatures getting a couple degrees closer to the 0 mark. As we look at Calgary, pretty stable. We do dip down here for a high of -4 on Saturday, but then overall high temperatures very close to the freezing mark as we head through the coming week. Now here is where we really start to feel that cold plunge Saturday through Tuesday. This is looking at Saskatoon, so getting over into north central Saskatchewan or central Saskatchewan, northern portions of the prairie over here. High temperatures anywhere from -15 to -20 from Saturday through Tuesday. Overnight lows 20 to 25 below 0. Same thing when we look at Regina. We see that dip Saturday through Tuesday. I have got to slow down with my dates here. High temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below 0. Overnight lows around 20 to 25 degrees below 0. You do see the warm up here as we head into Wednesday and beyond next week. We're looking at Winnipeg now, so all the way over in Manitoba. The cold push holding on a little bit longer here as you head off to the east. High temperatures -15 to -20 Saturday through Tuesday, but still slowly climbing out as we head through the end of the week there. Not really recovering much. High temperatures even as we get into the warm up late next week, anywhere from -10 for the highs to -15 for the overnight lows. Total precipitation here in Alberta, highest going to be off towards west central Alberta here, where we could pick up 10 to 20 millimeters of precipitation. On the low end here across southern Alberta here, where we're talking about 5 to 12 millimeters of precipitation. Snowfall, once again, highest off to the north and to the west, around 5 to 10 centimeters of snow across southern Alberta. Going a little bit higher than what that European model forecast just showed there. As we look off to the east, looking at the precipitation trailing off to the south and to the west, if you want to find precipitation here in excess of 5 millimeters of snow, or 5 millimeters of liquid precipitation heading off to southern Saskatchewan there, drier off to the east. And then we've already covered the snowfall forecast here, talking about generally a trace to 5 centimeters across southern Saskatchewan, and then talking about a trace to 2 centimeters of snow across southern Manitoba. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the evolution of the next 1 to 2 weeks in our Monday morning ag forecast video, and I will be back to talk about the Canadian prairie once again on Monday as well. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend.